Good. Lisa, what pleased you tonight?
Our start. We had a great start. We shot the ball really well in the first quarter, and we defended very well in the first quarter. We rebounded pretty well in the first quarter. Some of those things got away from us a little bit. We took care of the ball in the first quarter, but the start was great. Vonnie was very aggressive inside. I think she did a nice job. Claire was aggressive. Mick, obviously, in her first start, she got the rebounds. She was a good addition right there. And so that was the thing I think we did best, was how we started the game.
Yeah. You took Allie out at one point, and I thought I could read your lips, and you said, "Are you all right?"
Well, she just, she didn't seem like she was being as assertive as she normally is. And it's difficult when you get 2 fouls for any player, especially a young player. So she didn't play much in the first half. And so that was the start of the second half. And she just was looking at me like waiting for me to call something. And we've moved past that part a little bit where I call plenty, but I just thought that the way she was looking at me made it seem like she didn't know what was happening. I wasn't sure. Someone said that she may or may not have been throwing up. I don't know. I was just checking, see if she's fine. We put her back in. I thought she did a better job in the second half. Yeah. Yeah. She's pretty responsive when it comes to that. Again, she has a lot of, I don't know that there's a lot of pressure on her, but she's doing a lot as a freshman. So when she has those moments occasionally, they're very expected for a young player, and she responds very well.
It's really more for a freshman guard that's put on her than most of your freshmen that you've had over the years, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you'd have to go all the way back to Courtney.
Yep. Kaylee started partway through her freshman year, so by this time she would have been starting, but she was the shooting guard. Jessie was the starting point guard at that time. And so she was a secondary ball handler, and Jessie was very veteran when Katie Campbell went out. But Courtney is the last point guard we had who was running the show as a freshman. And again, that was partway through the season, and she obviously was pretty good. Yeah.
Did you get to check in on Claire after any word on the injury?
Yeah, I think that she stepped on someone's foot when she landed on the Euro and rolled it. So we'll see how, hopefully it responds quickly. I know that those hurt, and I know that in my experience, when they pop, you feel like it's broken and everything. Hopefully it's not, but that's what happened on it. And she's moving around okay right now, so she's gonna be hopefully okay.
And then with Mountain, Esther obviously just vets out today. Anyone specifically kind of step up or that you noticed?
Well, I was really pleased with Bree and Mick. And obviously, Vonnie played great. And there's a lot of people who you can look at on the stat sheet. But Bree didn't necessarily fill it up, but she's playing out of position. And, she keeps it going. She gives us some confidence out there. I think that she keeps getting better conditioned. She's still limited a little bit, but she's getting more and more minutes. And then McKinley was very nervous. And it didn't show. She's a thinker, processor, and she's just been rebounding really well for us in practice. And the 5 rebounds that she got in the game, I thought she did a nice job of defending and just kind of giving us the ability to do things more like we do when we have Mout and Esther. When we put Bree or Taylor at the forward, then it changes a little bit, but Mick allows us to play the same way through there. She's been doing that every day since she's got here. So I thought that those guys really did a good job. Taylor on the glass, she's not been rebounding as much as she should. So I would say all of those guys. We talk always when there's an injury about everyone. No one needs to make up all of that. We don't expect McKinley to be Esther or to be Mount. We just expect them all to do a little bit and a little bit more, and there's a bunch of them who I thought did a little bit more. She is supposed to be back for next. Yeah, she just was at a funeral. So, yeah.
Do you anticipate that Mount will be back?
I don't know. Yeah, we're still in the protocol. We're back and forth. So we would very much like her to be. We thought we were going to have her for today, actually. And that was part of, we would have let Esther go anyway. But we thought we were going to have her, and you just got to progress through that thing without any complications, and if they're still lingering, then it's just not safe. So
I know we're always asking you about Yvonne, but first SAG to get 1,000 career rebounds.
Yeah, I mean, you see now she is out there. People don't want to check her out. They try and they can't. She's so strong. She does her job every time. You get rebounds when you do your job and when you go, and she goes on offense every time. Sometimes to our dismay, because she goes through people. And on defense, she checks out every time. and she's such a great athlete, and it's a good, I don't know, honor or accomplishment, I guess is the word for her. Very nice accomplishment for her to have, and not surprised at all. She's going to continue to break records here and there throughout the rest of the season, but she's tough. She's tough to stop. I mean, it would take all of us to try to keep her off the glass. So, yeah. So any of those 4 players who just have one of them to do it, I mean, that's a tough job.
Anyone else?
You mentioned people playing out of position. Is that something that can benefit their game, or like when you have kind of people healthy and they go back to their original position, do they have to kind of almost unlearn the things they were doing while they were filling in?
I never think it's a bad thing. I think it's beneficial. I think a couple things. First of all, I remember saying this with Shaniqua, and probably before that when I was an assistant coach, but with Shaq, that you always want as a player your name to be the answer. So if we need rebounding, you want us to think, let me go to Vonnie. If we need defense, let me go to Vonnie. If we need scoring, let me go to Vonnie. Like, you want that to be your name to be called in that way. And Esther has made a career out of being somebody who, she's played every position for us. And now Bree has played every position for us. And as players, you want to play. And so I think that's good for our team. That's good for you as a player. I think they transition pretty seamlessly back to their original spot when we need to. It's sometimes hard in games when you're back and forth, but they're all willing to do whatever they need to. Vera was the forward for the last minute of that game, and it was just a minute, but they're all ready and able to do whatever we ask them to do and willing to try. So that's the best part about it. Yeah, she's getting close, and she could have played a couple more today, but we didn't need her to, and got a little rough out there. So.
First time to see Pacific on Saturday. I know you haven't looked at it.
Oh, I know about Pacific. They're good. Their guards are extremely veteran. Their forwards are extremely skilled. They're very physical. They're one of the. I know that Oregon State has the tallest players in the league, and I guess Washington State with Alex, but they have the longest team overall. They're very long, at all positions, minus maybe their 2 starting guards. It might be the smallest players on their roster, and they sure don't play small, and they've been there for a long time. So, they attacking, they're pushing in transition. I think that they can shoot it really well, so they propose a variety of problems. I think they've got great depth, and, AB's on their staff, so they're well coached. So.
You've probably seen them a lot just through scouts of other teams.
That's all. Yes. The coaches they all dig into it a lot earlier than me. I try when I can to watch some scout film of the ones we're going to watch coming up. So I have seen them just a little bit, but obviously I'll watch a lot more tonight and tomorrow.
I thought we played with a lot of energy, and I thought we played very physical today, kind of matching that energy and physicality of San Diego. They're a really good team when it comes to that. They are relentless. They go after it all. But for us to kind of take a stance and build a wall, I mean, that just shows a lot of intensity and confidence in ourselves to be able to do that against anybody.
Well, just with Esther and Mount out still, did you see anyone specific kind of step up tonight?
Yeah, I mean, Taylor, Bree, and Mick, I thought they did a great job. Just doing what they do, not doing anything special, not doing anything out of character, but filling in the role how their I guess design as a player helps them fit into the role. So I think they just did that very consistently. They brought exactly what we needed to the team, to the court, into the game, and that's all you can really ask of them. And they performed how they needed to. But yeah.
Earlier in the day, Lisa described your game and just everything that you've accomplished, kind of saying you don't always know when you're witnessing greatness, but with you, it's clear. Those are pretty
That's nice.
powerful words.
Thank you, Lisa.
I mean, how does it make you feel that, people know in the moment that they're witnessing something special with you?
Yeah, I think it's definitely nice, especially my coaching staff, to see that, just because they've stuck with me since day one. And I think to be able to see that in a player that they've put a lot of effort into, and that has put a lot of effort into them and their program, I think it also is a testimony to them that they're creating that. And I think that's just as good as what I'm doing on the court. And at the end of the day, it doesn't stop with me. We still have a bunch of other players coming in and things like that. There's a legacy of players that have been here that have like worn this jersey before I am. So to kind of see everything like unfolding day after day, I mean, it kind of shows them that like this program is growing more and more and more. So I'm just glad that I can be a part of that, and I can also be a symbol towards the greatness that this program is continuing to receive.
She did mention LeBron James.
I'm not gonna, no comment.
In the last minute or so, there was a moment like you were out there with like 3 freshmen. I think it was Barry Crispell.
Bear is a junior.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
At first,
Yeah, you're good.
anyways, when you're out there in a moment like that, you know, I know you're locked into the game, but do you ever kind of like look around and be like, oh wow, this is the future?
Yeah, sometimes. I feel like in practice a lot of the times too, and just like being able to see them kind of carve their way and like play Gonzaga like in their new way and kind of like shape that. It's very interesting, and it gets me like very excited to like see where they're gonna end up in like their next 4 years. So again, just like very proud of them for stepping on the court and like doing what they do. But I think they're just like doing it very well.
For either of you coaches, talking about Pacific, a very long team, aggressive team, anything that you guys have done as a team recently that's going to kind of help you conquer them?
Yeah, I think Pacific's record doesn't show how strong they are. They're returning 4 key starters. So I think for them, just they're ballers, you know. They're really strong, aggressive. They're going to get to the hoop. A big thing for us is staying in front. Lisa uses the term head to ball. So everyone being able to guard your yard, guard your own player. And then I think our transition game's starting to get better and better each game. We don't have as many legs as we'd like and as many people on the bench, but I think we're all fit enough that we can keep running and give Pacific a good crack.
Taylor, you like stepped up into so many different roles and just been able to, you know, provide an edge in so many different situations. There's like an attack night where you got like smacked, like hit really hard on one end and you weren't there to get the rebound on the other end so quick. What is it about your game and like what motivates you to keep you like scrappy and just willing to step up in so many different ways?
I think that's a big reason I love basketball. You know, you don't have to be confined into a certain space. I think whether your shots are going in or not, one thing you can always control is your defense and your energy that you bring. So I'd like to consider myself a hustle player, whether I'm playing the point guard, the wing, and currently a post player. Don't know how, never thought I'd see that happen. One thing I can do is bring energy, bring good talk, make our huddles tighter. And, you know, I was out for a long time, 8 months, and so to come back, it definitely took a while for me to get my rhythm going. But I feel like I'm starting to get back to the Taylor Dalton I was before. So happy to be a Zag.
Wow.
And on that.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, I like that.
Cut, print, press.